Hello everybody. I already made a bunch of videos today, pretty much about nothing, which that's the whole point. I didn't title them, I didn't do any editing, I just wanted to put them up because I just am, I don't know, it's just been really hard. But anyways, I wanted to make myself a video of myself applying for Walmart, which I'm going to do next, but I gotta use the phone. I tried doing it through the Chromebook, which uses Linux, and there was a page where it just froze after that, so it wouldn't let me do it. But I did, however, 2 days ago I spoke with the manager at my local Publix, and yesterday I mailed him a real, like an actual letter, not an email, an actual letter. See if something happens. I know, I'm very pessimistic when it comes to getting a job because I'm not good at filling out applications. I'm not good at interviews. Most of the jobs I ever got is either through word of mouth or people see me do another job and then they took me away from an employer or things like that. And like I said, the last 7 years I worked. The last 3 years I haven't worked because of the situation at home. The last 7 years I worked was on the table, which does not look good. So I also have a criminal record. Last time I got arrested for something that I did was 2007. Of course, nobody ever did anything they did. But there was an instance, I think like 2011, I believe, where I was with this person, and this person was highly addicted to opioids to the point where during that time I've worked pretty much my whole life. It's just right now at this point in time I'm not working, okay? But anyway, so I was encouraging this person, get a job, and they're like, I would, but if I don't have something when I wake up, I can't function. So I was like, okay, all right, I'll get you something and I'll hold it for you. And what I didn't know was that this person was also like living in my car. So literally during the day while I worked, this was when I worked at the eye doctors, this person would be in the car, right? And just sit there all day. So the manager at the store, they were parked behind McDonald's. The manager from the store noticed that, first of all, it was an awesome car. It was a 1988 Chevy Caprice Brougham, but it's associated with gangsters and whatever, for some reason, or I don't know. To me, it's just an awesome car. The thing is, Chevy, people can make fun of Chevy all they want, but old school Chevys this thing was amazing. But granted, when I bought it, it only had like 4,000 miles, I think it was. I got it at a steal. I bought it around 2010 or so. And of course I paid a little bit more than I should have, but that's because the owner lived in Maine, only drove it during the summer. So every winter the car sat in the garage, and then when she drove it, she would just drive to church and to the store, and that's it. So this car was amazing. Only thing that set me back, as soon as I bought it, I thought I was ready to drive, which it kind of was, but it's an old car. Old cars used to have something called a carburetor. This is before fuel injection was invented. So the problem with carburetors, and also boats, a lot of boats I believe still use carburetors. So if you want to get a carburetor clean, good luck. I found one person in the whole Tri-County area. I had to drive down towards the main courthouse in Miami just to get my carburetor cleaned out. And because they literally have to take the whole thing apart, let it soak in some solution, yada yada yada, and then put the whole thing back together. And as you can tell, that probably takes a lot of skills because we're talking about a lot of different parts and stuff. But nonetheless, after that, the car, it was just a dream. That car was a dream. I love that car. I'm not going to mention why I got rid of it, because if I do, I'll probably hear from somebody, oh, why are you telling that story again? Da 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 da. Well, tell it again because it's true, whatever. And then they'll make, that person will make an alternate version of why I sold it. Like I said, some people who lie are just like, it's just, oh my gosh. It's like, wow. And the other day, this person lied to me, and it was just such a straight up lie. And it was about something that occurred in front of like hundreds of people, which it doesn't really matter. It's not like we're going to talk to them anyways, but they said that they lied that I did something. And I was like, I told the person, I'm like, let's just say the person's name is like Kevin or something. I'm like, Kevin, I did not do that. You're just making it up. I did not do anything at all, And finally he conceded. He was like, oh, okay, I guess maybe you're right, But still, just the fact that people are just, it's just, oh my gosh. And I kind of understand Dad's reasoning a few months ago when he told me not to talk to somebody, because it almost feels like, just put it this way. All right, let's say there's a child and their parent, and the parent is, for instance, a single parent, right? They spend all the time with their child, and their child learns to lie. So then now the parent is like, every time the child's about to say something, maybe to, the other parent or whatever, to confirm whether something was true or not, because really the single parent loves to say things to like get on the other parent's nerves, and so then the other person will try to go and confirm those things with the child and the other parent. And then the parent who spends most of the time with the child will actually congratulate their child on lying. She's like, oh, what are you going to say now? World's greatest liar. Who is proud of their child to be the greatest liar there is? It just shows the kind of like thought that, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm missing out on something here, Maybe I'm just not up to date on things. I don't know. And it just kind of, it's just the less that you think about it, the better, because out of sight, out of mind. I'm just gonna, it makes things hard because, when you love somebody, you want to love them unconditionally, but then when you hear things that really hurt your feelings, you gotta kind of like suck it up, and you gotta just be humble and accept that there's gonna be people that you love that just don't love you back, but you have to love them unconditionally, because if you brought someone to this world, it's your duty. And then there's parents that, I don't know, like, I'll give you an example. Sometimes people get close to each other when they have a common like belief, a common like sense of purpose, right? So for instance, let's say there's two individuals, right? And for some reason, both of those individuals are mad at another individual. That will only make things grow from there. And then those people's relationship might actually further bond but it's gonna further bond over their either hate or dislike. I don't like to say hate because hate is just, if you hate somebody, it's almost like you secretly love them. But anyways, it's just, nonetheless, I realized that there was these two persons, right? That they seemed like they were both mad at me for whatever reason. I don't know. And then what I noticed was, when I hear them talking to each other, now out of all the suddenly, one of the two people is really nice to the other person, and this person is really not known to be nice. I mean, they'll tell you that they're nice. They'll say, "Oh, when I go here, everybody loves me. They call me this, they call me that." And I try to explain to that person. I'm like, "Yes, let's call this person I don't know, Sarah." I'll say, "Yes, Sarah, they're nice to you because they only see you for about 5 minutes a day, and then they go on to the next person." Now, imagine having to live with someone where you actually get to really know them. You get to know like all their quirks, all their habits. It's a little different to still like somebody, once you get to know who they are. That's why when they say marry someone who has the same faith as you, number one, that's important because number one, just the fact that they have faith alone will make a huge difference, okay? Just that alone. Because if you marry somebody who does not have faith, I made a video two videos ago talking about, half full, half empty. I might have not titled this, it might just be today's date. But if someone has no faith, they're just a half empty kind of person. They're pessimistic. Alright? Because that's what faith is. Faith is, well, one is putting in the work, that's real faith. But two, it's also believing, believing your higher power. And I hate to talk about spirituality on this channel because, no, I don't. I'll say I hate talking about religion because religion is just like another word for a cult, but spirituality is different. You don't need to go to church in order to be spiritual. Even Christ said two people talking amongst each other, having a conversation that has to do with the word and that has to do with, things to do with God and whatnot. That right there on its own can be considered a church. But I do like church because, it's hard to sing songs of praise and worship with just two people. And also, pastors are usually like, whether they graduated from theology or whatever, or maybe it's just experience, their parents were pastors before them, they usually tend to be good teachers, and you might learn something that you didn't learn before, or look at something new that you didn't look at before. So that, and then the last thing also is a sense of how do you call it, like a group of people that all together. I remember when we talk about it in our groups all the time. Fellowship is a sense of fellowship. So you meet other like-minded individuals, which means that you could say they're just acquaintances, but at least you guys have things in common, and those things are usually good things. So it's actually healthy for you. It's good for you. I know I've heard there's surveys that say that people don't go to church anymore, people don't believe in, God anymore, whatever, but why do you think this country is the way it is, So many people are unhappy, so many people are worried. We live in a society where our values, when you really go down to think about it, not everyone's, but a good amount of people's, especially with young children, or young adults, because granted they're still growing. We usually by the time we're 25, you're not a child anymore. It's supposed to be 18, but by the time you're 18, you're still a teenager. You're gonna consider an 18-year-old adult. Give me a break. I forgot which country it was. I don't know if they changed the rules, but you were a child until you were 25, and that to me seems more appropriate. 25 is when you can rent a car. So if you're responsible enough to rent a car, you should be responsible enough to, take care of yourself and whatnot. Me, since I suffer from a lot of mental conditions, I almost consider myself a dependent because I depend on my parents a lot. And I don't mean about just like financially. I depend on them for support because they'll actually be there for me and they'll want what's best for me. And it's real unconditional love. The other day, again, this person whom I love, but apparently they hate me now. I had made some food. I offered some to them. They didn't even want it. I mean, maybe they weren't hungry, but, And then I get in trouble for, like, just put it this way, something happened just literally like maybe 15 minutes ago where I sat down to eat because I saw some food. I had made Mariah some mac and cheese, so I saw it sitting on the counter, like the portions that I did not serve her, and I was like, oh man, this looks good. So I poured myself a plate, and then I went down. I sat down to eat it, and then this person, angered, quickly opened the sliding glass door and said something along the lines like, oh, you brought me back here to talk and now you're doing this? First of all, I didn't bring anybody, okay? The individual said, I'm going out the back. Are you coming this way or are you going that way? I said, I'm going that way. And originally I went into the kitchen because I was going to get myself a drink. So when I would come back here, I would have something to drink. And then that's when I saw the food. And I figured, well, I haven't eaten yet. Let me just eat this real quick. But after a couple of seconds, the person opened the door, kind of yelled at me. My dad was sitting right there too, which, you wonder why, you're treated a certain way, why people, might maybe dislike you or something like that. I mean, just think about all the times that you're quick to anger. Think about all the times that you drop F-bombs. Think about all those times, It's like, people, at least most people, are not like that. People, and they do say it's okay to curse every once in a while, because it helps you, like, whatever, I don't know, express your feelings better. But to be cursing all the time, are you telling me that all the time your feelings are that of negativity, of something that is bothering you? But the good news is, pretty soon, allegedly, I will not have to be making any more videos about this because the individual's rather confident that they're gonna not be taking up a room in this home, so there'll be one less household here. And as a reward, I won't be able to see my child anymore. So, what can you do? You gotta put God first, even before your family, before your parents, before your kids. So, but it's gonna hurt. I lost someone that I lost very dearly, and that's actually what taught me just put God first above everything, because death is right around the corner. And another thing too is, since young children are very impressionable, it's almost dangerous, in my opinion, to allow people whose values may not be in line with, let's say, things that are right, things that are positive, things that you know will lead to a better future, will lead to a better life. Instead, they're more interested in I don't know how they would say about me. I'm more interested about myself. But yet again, I'm the one that, oh, don't get me wrong, someone else made our daughter food today. But then after that, she was still hungry, so then I had to make her some more food. So whatever, doesn't matter. Yesterday was the first day of school, so I was proud that she just went, and I got her Chick-fil-A. But that's the past. Can't focus on the past. Think about the future. And now I'm in a tight spot because I can't work anymore. Or at least, well, now that's why I'm looking for another job. Which reminds me, that's the whole reason I made this video. Because I'm going to go apply for Walmart now and see if iOS allows me to get past the part where it says apply here. The next one to let me get past that. They send me to like a 404 page or something. Alright, good night, guys. Ciao.